Ever since Plants vs. Zombies 2 released, people have always begged for a way to play it outside of mobile. The original game released on PC, so it made no sense to exclude the sequel, right? PopCap did consider a PC port at one point, but nothing came to fruition. So the only way to play PvZ 2 on PC was through emulators, which is less than ideal, but it worked for the time being. Until now, everything you could have wanted and more has come true with PvZ 2 Gardendless. First off, what is Gardendless? It's not a mod, nor the original game code repackaged into an EXE, but a faithful recreation of the original game from the ground up, inspired by the golden Plants vs. Zombies era of 2016. So all of those terrible changes made by the modern team, gone. 1. Leveling doesn't exist, so you actually have to consider what types of zombies you're facing and what plants to bring. 2. I don't care about microtransactions in games unless they're predatory. Unfortunately, modern PvZ 2 is well into that predatory zone nowadays, but Gardendless doesn't have any, which is to be expected. You can't monetize a fan game. 3. It recreates that feel of the original game while adding a bunch of brand new content. The game follows the classic format where reaching a world's midway point grants you a world key to explore anywhere you want. Want to jump from ancient Egypt to Bigway Beach? I don't know why you'd want to do that, but you can. And the gameplay here is just tremendously good. One thing I loved about old PvZ 2, and by extension Reflourished, is how much of a game is handed to you. Modern mobile games are filled to the brim with a million events going on and gacha, just so much junk. Nowadays, PvZ 2 molded into that, but it used to be so good. Plants vs. Zombies 2 when it launched was a free game with so much to do. Do today's special pinata party, play through adventure, or make a last stand in Endless Zone. That's all it was, a high quality and good looking game with so much content handed to you for free. That's basically what Gardendless is, and it's amazing. Plants vs. Zombies 2 is truly incredible then, and being able to play it today just like how it used to be on a computer is a dream come true. Coins have been reworked into only buying costumes for the time being, making the game more of a costume collectathon. Premium plants and purchasable upgrades are all available with gems, which are randomly dropped by zombies. Special China exclusive content like the Kung Fu World has even made its way into Gardendless. Some parts that were weird ended up getting some brand new additions. Like, has nobody questioned why we're getting power tiles and seed packets? Hence, Tile Turnip now has special designs to signify what pattern it creates, which is much better than the power tile coming to existence from nothing. Overall, the gameplay is astonishingly well crafted. Even the little things, like keybinds for selecting seed packets or being able to use the scroll wheel to move minecarts, can go a long way in making the player experience much better. Of course, being a PvZ 2 recreation, it's obviously going to look like PvZ 2, but there are a lot of changes, some you might not even notice. First off, all the characters are reanimated and look so much smoother. Some people say they're over animated, which is a fair criticism, but I personally love it. The higher quality animations are one of the key reasons I always use Gardendless footage in my shorts instead of the actual game. There's even brand new animations from scratch for all plants when they're defeated. A very subtle detail is the usage of proper lawn texture layering. That sounds like a mouthful, so let me explain. In the original PvZ 2, all of the lawns are flat pictures, so sometimes it can look like zombies are floating over objects. In Gardendless, there's proper texture overlay so zombies don't appear over objects in the foreground. It looks much nicer and makes the entire experience feel more polished. Some characters got completely new redesigns, like Scaredy Shroom receiving one of the best glow-ups in history. There's even more like a rhythm game and a sandbox mode. I've unironically spent so much time in the sandbox mode because it's interesting to watch the plant and zombie interactions and see how good some combos are, or making insane defenses and seeing how long they can last against Gargantuar spam. It reminds me of being a kid again and messing around in something like Minecraft's creative mode. I remember making a bunch of iron golems defending villages from huge swarms of mobs until they eventually fell. Gardendless really just reminds me of being a little kid on my phone and playing PvZ 2. It was pure fun then, and Gardendless brings me the exact quality from all those years ago. So I really think it is the best way to play PvZ 2. Reflourished is amazing, but it's more so an expansion of vanilla PvZ 2 with brand new and original goodies, answering the question of what if PvZ 2 kept getting good updates? Gardendless is pretty much vanilla PvZ 2 with a bunch of changes to the original game to make it more of a complete package. No new worlds from scratch, but an amazing way to play the original game. Of course, it is unfinished right now. Gardendless at the time of writing is in beta, and there's some things missing, such as Crazy Dave and Penny dialogue at the beginning of levels. But all in all, Gardendless is a very welcome addition in the wide cast of PvZ fan games, and will definitely grow in popularity in the future. So if you enjoyed me talking about Plants vs Zombies stuff, click on my playlist full of random discussions on topics throughout the franchise. And thanks for watching.